Hello, everybody, and unidentified space objects. So today we're going to be talking about the new episode of the Orville Shadow Realms. Due to the time crunch, I'm going to be asking Phil, basically to go first because, he's got to go halfway through and abandon me, like my family did. But anywho,
You wish.
yay! So Phil. Uh, what did you? What's your opinions and things like this? We'll start off with you.
So far, I'm going to say if the rest of the season is up to at least on par with these first two episodes, I'm going to be extremely fucking happy.
Yeah. I mean, I like. So I'm going to just go to the time. Yeah, here it is. I'm going to share my screen. Blah 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 blah. Because I'm very professional. I know what I'm doing. Window.
You don't sound
That's
very
not
convincing.
true.
So this is a new admiral. I forget his name, but he's added in, and we discovered that Claire was actually married.
Christy. His
Yeah,
last
thank
name
you.
is Christy.
Yeah, Admiral Christie. We discovered that he was Claire's professor, and that they were actually married to each other for a
Christie.
while. Yeah, which is I'm like, okay, I have none against that, but it was a bit of a surprise because I mean, like she had the kids through artificial insemination and everything like that, and I'm like, okay, like I thought that it was going to be revealed that he was their dad.
Yes, because that would make sense.
No. Before
I
they
kind
said
of
the
wondered
time,
that.
yeah, before they said the time difference of 25 years, up until then, I like is he their dad? But now it's like, oh,
I don't know how
no.
that would have worked. I don't think that would have worked.
Yeah, I know that, but it's just then he's told about the 25 years. But so we learned that they're after meeting up with the Krill, and they're going to this party, which is honestly hilarious. I thought it was funny because when they were at the party, they were the Krill were fucking out of place. Let's be honest. And when they were there, everyone was like, okay, like we're going to go. You know,
You're breaking
we
up,
don't see a
Brevin.
point. Yeah, it breaks up when I switch tabs. They're like, okay, so the Krill were like, we don't see a point in parties and everything like this. Like, why are you doing this? They're like, oh, it's a festival. It's a festive thing. And Claire turns around like a bit into the party and she steals a bottle of whiskey and like
That's
leaves.
a bottle of wine.
Just
like a bottle of champagne.
I don't drink alcohol. Yeah.
You're Irish. You should know the difference between whiskey and wine.
I never said it was good Irish.
Whiskey's not clear like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know the difference myself.
You're not a drinker?
Nope.
Hey, let's run away and start a cult together. So here we see the Krill at the party.
That's scary, Revan.
Let's worship the potatoes. But we see the Krill here, and they're at the party. But the thing that makes it actually funny is when they're in in Claire's apartment. Kelly turns around and she says when Claire makes a joke about dating the Krill, she says, I wouldn't date anyone who dresses more glam than I am. Speaking about glam, hello, Dalek. Good to see you, man.
Dalek.
I thought you were going to ask me to make some kind of comment.
Oh, yeah, you can make any comment you want.
No, I mean specifically about the thing about the glam.
Yeah, okay, go. What comment do you have for the glam?
No, I didn't have one prepared. I was just kind of expecting, like, when you said, speaking of.
Yeah. How are you, Dalek? You doing okay, bud?
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I'm late getting in.
Yeah. It's 1:05 in the morning over this side.
And you think I don't know that? I'm in the same time zone as you.
But no one else
I'm
knows.
glad I'm not.
Same.
Why? Because that mean you be in the same area as I am?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, sort of.
But Dalek, what's your opinions on this episode?
It was really, really good. Definitely, I think it's a vast improvement over the first episode. This episode was definitely a lot more of what I was hoping for from this show.
Yeah.
And
Dalek, can you drop your channel into the chat and I'll pin you to the top of the chat?
And right. Yeah, sure. Hang on.
Yeah. But yeah, when they showed the before we get to the space station, the Krill, when they were headed into unknown in space, into this void, devoid of all stars, the Krill were like, "Oh, there's demons and that out there." But what kind of made me laugh was the Krill prayed at Orville. Okay, now they were saying earlier on in it, after the Kalon are dealt with, we're going to war. Like that, we're going back to war. Why would you pray for someone if you're going to war with them?
I mean, they weren't going to be. It's not like they were going to be killed by the Krill.
No, but still, in general,
they were offering respect for the dead.
Well, yeah. Okay, so guys, there is a comment now that has just been pinned, and that is Dalek's channel. Go and hit him up with subscribes and things like that.
I would very much appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you very
needs it.
much.
He's Dalek's a good guy. Like, he's starting out, he's finding his feet and everything like that. So let's all go over there and beat him with hockey sticks.
Wow.
Maybe we should do that to you, Revan.
Good way of putting it.
Nuts to you, I'm into that.
Oh God, why am I not surprised?
Yeah, but the Krill.
Well, they did say that the Krill religion is one that's really hard to understand. So maybe they do pray. Maybe they do pray for those that they will eventually kill. Maybe they want them to be, healthy and
reborn as Krill. Maybe they believe in reincarnation.
Maybe.
Well, maybe they want them to be safe and healthy until they get a chance to kill them.
Yeah, it's like, don't die until I kill you.
Exactly. Maybe that's
yeah, but after that, they go in and they see this space station. Like this big ass, I'm just looking for the clip now, this big ass space station. I'm sorry about having to deal with like this because the Overlords, they kind of have changed up the image system. Oh, speaking about the systems, the graphics on this show is absolutely amazing. Like, look at this.
I agree.
That's the Nebula.
Well, you got 200 tabs open or something.
Oh, this shot is you're right. This shot here is spectacular.
Yeah, the effects are just
all of the visual effects this season so far have been pure eye candy.
Oh yeah,
they have. But there's the space station, which is the space station for these new, the new bad guys and everything like this. Because I am convinced they are coming back.
There's no doubt.
But
they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have introduced the Admiral character, Admiral Christie, if those creatures weren't coming back.
Yeah,
and that goes into what I was saying earlier that I'm going to reiterate now that we're live on stream, is that to everybody out there, which I'm sure was all of us, who are thinking that the Kalon were going to be this show's equivalent of the Borg, we got it completely wrong, people. The Kalon are not the Borg. These motherfuckers are the Borg.
Yes. So the
fucking admiral character, when he reveals that they're actually sentient enough that they can talk, actually says, "You will be of us."
Yeah, I'm like, That is a new saying.
Yeah, this goes without saying, but I think everybody who's watching this understands already. But spoilers.
Of course, yes. I mean, obviously, spoilers.
You will be of us. Yeah, that is reminiscent
But that
of
is more creepier than the Borg. I'm actually like, even rather than resistance is futile, it's you will be of us. That's more creepier than the Borg.
That to me is reminiscent of not just the maybe kind of the Borg, but it's also more reminiscent of if you're a Doctor Who fan, it's more reminiscent of the Cybermen.
Yes.
Cybermen, yeah. You will become like us, is what
you
they
will
say.
you will become like us. Yeah, that's what that's what the Cybermen say.
But when they went into here, guys, did anyone get the feeling that this reminded them of a squid mouth?
Yeah, I did kind of get that impression.
Now that you mention it, yes.
Now that you pointed out, yeah, it is kind of like that.
Yeah. John DeMarco says the Kalons are more like the Cylons. They are have very similar names, which I don't think is a coincidence. No, if anything, I think the Kalons are like the Daleks.
Yeah.
No, I don't see them having hate like the Daleks.
Yeah, but I mean,
no, not. I mean, yeah, the Kalon are. They're I wouldn't say they're not exactly like the Daleks. They kind of are, because they're obviously xenophobic, but that's more from. I mean, they're just.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have emotions. They don't feel hatred like Daleks do, because that's what a whole. No, that's a Daleks whole deal. They hate everything and everything that isn't like them.
I think John's onto something there, because the Cylons were created by people, by man, basically, and they turned on them, and that's what the Kalons.
Oh, the Kalons! I was thinking of the fucking Krill.
Oh no, not the Krill.
Yeah, but
I was talking about the Kalon.
In this. Yeah. Please forgive me. I'm stupid. Phil will attest to that.
No comment.
Hey, yeah, you can move this one. Okay, so this is the interior of the space station, which should have given them the first vibes of stay the fuck away. This is grown. Now, earlier on, after what happens and everything, like, they come up to... That is a distress thing. But that's another insect. That is an extinct insect from, like, the Jurassic era or things like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like that whole place is kind of like
a beehive.
Yeah, it's like an insect hive or something like that.
Now, where are they at? These things, when they opened up, did anyone get a Stargate SG-1 vibe from the library?
Oh no, I didn't. But now that you mention it, I do see it.
I've never watched Stargate.
Oh, why the heck have you not watched Stargate? That's an excellent series.
Yeah. For him not watching Stargate, everyone go over and give him a subscribe. So he will. The more subscribers he get, the more likely he is to watch Stargate. And I can get to make him feel bad.
You need to watch Stargate.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, but here we see the Admiral just being a dumbass. He's like, oh, look, something weird on this weird ship that we don't understand. Let me stick my face into it. With no sound, it's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Stick his face into it, and he gets shot in the face.
Yeah, with some kind of spore.
Yeah.
The thing opens up and spurts some invisible spore into his face.
Yeah, here it is. It's like, wow, it is. And looking at, oh no, I've been shot. Oh no, what am I going to do? Because I'm a dumbass.
I don't think that's what he was feeling. He was startled when it opened up.
Oh yeah. But no, I'm just saying, he's a dumbass. For doing that. I mean,
I guess it takes one to know one.
Exactly. But yeah. But like, and after this, he ends up, well, worse for wear in a sense. Like, because he ends up in hospital. And the effects on this, like the prosthetic effects on this, are like awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because theirs is from the side. I'm going because like that's all fake prosthetics put onto him, and there he is from the front.
Ugh, man.
It looks like it hurts.
It does, but the weird thing is, he said it does.
He generally looks like he's in pain.
Yeah.
I think that effect though is very well done. That the prosthetics.
It is. I mean, the first thing I'd say is, can you see out of those eyes?
It's probably with that much prosthetic, probably not.
No, I'm saying the character. Like, turn around to him and be like, "So, Bill, can you see?" So earlier on in the episode, which we didn't say, which actually became I thought was stupid, but like Phil educated me on it. That they gave, so he gave Claire a wedding ring, but it's like he kept his one, and it was Solarian Sunstone.
Chilean.
Don't correct me, but yeah.
Always correct, Revan.
Yay! Wait, where is this? Hey, Brainy Specs.
Sure. What? You're funny.
At least someone thinks so. I'll have to tell my mother.
I was being sarcastic, and you know it.
Oh, God damn you. So, Phil, what did you think of the wedding ring item itself?
In what respect?
As a plot device.
It made sense.
It did. It was also quite a nice ring, I must say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of get the feeling that they contrived this this past marriage between the two, just so that there would be some sort of tension between the two, and to have the ring and to identify which of them is the admiral when they come back later in the series.
Moira.
Hey,
I
Moira.
mean,
Hi, Moira.
That's nothing new for sci-fi shows of this vein.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do that all
but
the time.
The whole thing
it just came out of the blue.
The whole thing between Dr. Finn and this guy is it's a little pointless. It's like except for it's just thrown in there to move the plot forward because that was literally the whole point of it was like the setup with that ring to identify who the admiral was at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think part of it also pushes forward the relationship between Isaac and Claire.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does. But the thing is, with one of the little things that's kind of niggling at me, Claire's never had a bad relationship where she's actually been mad after it. She, like, with this, they could have had her at least being mad. Like,
yeah,
but
she was.
It seems.
Yeah, she
kind
was
of happy.
She was uncomfortable for most of the time when he first came on board the ship, but he wasn't. But she wasn't mad.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder when the last time they'd actually seen each other. Did they actually say that in the
25
episode?
years ago?
It was 25. That's right.
Well, there's a lot of time.
I've only seen it once
for healing.
Well, yeah, I agree. But after 25 years, you're probably going to be nervous about seeing somebody you were married to.
Yeah. I mean, But you could have said at one time, oh yeah, she was mad or something, but then throughout the episode she got like calmer. So Specs. So she was married and then had 2 kids via artificial means. Dude, she had an artificial boyfriend. That's not too far out of the streams. That was my best guess. Thoughts? Yeah. Like, that's legit what happened. So I think what it was is, I think that whatever happened in this marriage, kind of for her backstory, may have disillusioned her towards marriage as a whole. Because I know people who
possibly.
Yeah, because I've known people who've had bad marriages are like, screw this, I'm never getting married again. And like they don't, and they've even broken up to relationships. But
I really don't know if their marriage was bad per se.
No, I didn't say it was bad, but I'm just saying it disillusioned her.
Okay.
Because she said that she wanted to be out there strong, out there doing her own thing, like getting promoted, whatever, being a doctor. But he just wanted a bed warmer. Like
no,
he just wanted
like.
Well, that's what
she wanted. She wanted a marriage. She wanted a husband. He didn't want a wife. He just wanted someone to come home to.
And by the way, I think you're being trolled in the chat a little, Revan.
Wait, I'm getting trolls?
You're getting trolled.
Yeah.
In a funny way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the boy, that's the thing, that the boys don't know who their dad is. Literally. And this is going to be stupid, but if I was doing their dad, I know he's not well. Damn you, man. But if I was doing their dad, I would do Avery Brooks.
Phrasing.
God fucking damn you, Phil!
You walked right into that one.
Fuck you, man. Oh no, Phil's only had to leave. But okay, if I was casting their father, right, the role I would have cast would be Avery Brooks.
That would be perfect, really, but I don't think you'd get Avery Brooks to do it.
No, I don't think he's well enough. From just like the nerd sphere that I'm in and what I've heard, I don't think Avery Brooks is well enough. But so it turns out that the Admiral starts becoming a bit of a hentai monster.
What's a hentai monster?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Are you kidding me?
Gotta get it.
Please tell me you're kidding me.
No. With spikes on his
Revan.
back and multiple arms and those little knobbles on his back. He's a hentai monster.
Professor Brainy Specs, trust me, you don't want to know what it means, what a hentai monster is.
Professor Brainy Specs, Google tentacle hentai.
No, don't. Whatever you do.
No,
I say don't.
I'm quite content not to.
But so as he's transforming into whatever, like, I mean, the prosthetics are really, really good here.
Like, I thought it was. They were, yeah. I agree.
They're absolutely believable.
Yeah, and he does a real
top-notch.
good job of being in like pain and everything. Like,
you can really tell that Hulu put money into this production.
They absolutely did. They did. I mean, Bort later on, like the line that he says towards the end of it makes me laugh. It's like, you'll get the sniffles. I am prepared.
Well, that's Bortus.
That's classic Bortus.
Yeah. Phil, you okay? Phil? I can't hear Phil. Can any of you hear Phil?
Are you there?
I'm here.
I'm
here now. Internet.
Internet.
Thank God. Okay. Save us from this madman that's to my
now.
left.
I'm going to say so.
To my right, I guess.
So the ship goes black, Right. Well, that's a bad phrase to have it on and say that.
You should have said, yeah, you should have said goes dark.
Actually, going black is the actual technical term for it.
All right.
So the ship goes black, and it then actually becomes basically a horror episode.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it did have a horror feel to it. I agree.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, it pretty much gave me everything I wanted in a Star Wars. Fuck me.
No, you're not my
Orville,
type.
in an Orville. In what this episode showed, Orville doing a horror episode in the way that the Orville is supposed to do a horror episode.
Yes.
It didn't take itself too seriously, just like the rest of the show. But it still had that creepy factor. It was a straight up classic Star Trek creature episode.
Yeah, it was a straight up creature of the week episode.
With the Haunting on Deck 12 influence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of, Haunting of Deck 12.
So I have a weird question. Where the hell is Topa and Bortus's husband?
Probably in their quarters, hiding and being smart.
Throughout the Clyden being smart. Come on, Phil.
Well, Clyden is smart.
I mean, we're 2 episodes in, we haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, I'm sure
we will.
Yeah, and when everything went dark, he never turned around and said, "Where's?" Because throughout everything, when the attack by the Kaelon happened and everything, he never turned around and said, "Where's Clyden or Topa?" or anything like that.
Well,
so, I think they would have. I think he would have. I think he would have known that they would have had the sense to remain in their quarters where it was safer.
Yeah.
Well, I had a general problem with this episode that, once you get into the meat of the episode, you hardly see any crew other than the principal cast.
Yeah.
That's part that bit is a bit weird because once all the power goes out and it all goes dark aboard the ship, it's like all of a sudden the ship's complete. The ship's just empty. What the hell? Where is everybody?
One of the little issues I had was the weapons not working when the ship. You were saying, Phil?
Why would that be an issue? Two things. One, it was whenever Star Trek. What you're describing is nothing new for this either, because Star Trek, especially Voyager, when they had something like this happen. And I'm losing connection again, aren't I? Oh no, I'm not. No,
I can hear you.
Screen. Okay.
Come back to us.
I'm here. When Star Trek would do something like this, with the horror theme stuff, where the lights go out and everything, it did the same thing. Empty corridors, no crew to speak of.
It did, but you also have to remember when this was also filmed. At the same time, I know it was the pandemic, but the thing about it at the same time is if the crew was going everywhere, you'd be saying the opposite. It'd be, why wasn't there more of those spider creatures at the end? Be like, oh, they didn't think they can't win or lose with the amount of crew they have. If they have too many crew walking around, therefore it's like, why are they not weren't more transformed? If there's not enough crew walking around, it's like, where the hell is everyone? And I suppose with this episode, with the graphics, I suppose they kind of wanted a little bit of a cheap out. Reminded you of Children of the Gods. I didn't get that feel.
Children of the Gods, really?
Yeah. For Phil and Dalek's reference, Children of the Gods is the first episode of Stargate. Where there was basically they were kidnapped and they convinced a Jaffa named Tilk to turn against his false gods, which is oddly enough nothing like this episode.
Yeah, I don't get that vibe at all from this episode.
Yeah.
But that description doesn't fit this at all.
I love these spacesuits.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they don't need spacesuits. They just need a force field.
Okay.
They don't. What, you mean strap Michael Burnham onto the front or just drive along?
That's Strange New Worlds. They were walking on the hall and they just had a force field around them. They just need force fields.
Oh no, Professor Brainy Specs only had to leave.
Oh dear.
He's making fun of that shit.
I know,
Yes.
I know.
You just don't get my humor.
I'll put you back up there. There we go. But yeah, is there any scenes that you want to highlight or anything like this?
I don't think so.
The battle, the fight that I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. The security officer was having
Tala.
with the admiral. Tala.
Yeah,
some of that felt a little wonky. It just didn't feel quite realistic looking.
I think what they should have. Go ahead, Phil.
I mean, it make with her, what in what way are you referring?
It did well when she was throwing around the admiral and the other spider creatures, and they were slamming into things. That didn't quite look right to me. It looked fake.
That wasn't the admiral that she.
Well, the other spider creatures.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Not Spider-Man.
Come on, it's Spider-Man. It's
not Marvel. It's not Marvel.
I would hate to see what the Orville looked like if Marvel got a hold of it.
Dude, Marvel's technically owned by Disney. I'm just saying. So
I realize this. But
it's too bad you can't be kicked off your own show, Revan. Because you need
to
be.
I'll be kicked off my own. Oh no!
Come back!
No, don't.
Don't. Yeah, Phil's like a paramedic. No, don't save him, and pushes me back into the fire.
It was just like that. Just reminded me of the fucking, the G.I. Joe PSA parodies.
Yes.
Yeah,
but did anyone see the?
Don't give him the stick.
Did anyone see the firefighter saving children in reverse?
I
showed
it that I have.
Yeah, basically, it's it's like if you reverse firefighter saving children, it looks evil. I'll show it to you after the stream.
John, I don't know if you saw this in chat, Revan. John Peterson says it was not children of the gods. It was the one where they had the day side and the night side of a planet, and they changed to the Neanderthals. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that episode.
And
I have no frame of reference.
So basically, there's they go to this planet, okay, and when they're there, everyone keeps falling asleep. But what he's on about is that there was this virus that O'Neill, one of the main characters, got, and it turned him old, like really old. I believe by the end of the episode, they said he was about 110 years old physically. And they're like, "Oh, this is a gift from the gods," and everything like that. Good episode.
I need to watch SG-1 again.
Yeah. So the doctor, the nurse, the male nurse, here it is, right here, as we can see, nurse introduced in this episode. He finds the Admiral's clothes on the ground and realizes that the Admiral's running around butt-ass naked. And then he kind of has a change in his outlook on life, as you will. But yeah, so Claire's kids, I have to say, are two of the dumbest kids I've ever seen.
That moment with that guy, did anyone jump in their seats when they saw that?
The empty uniform? Yeah, Nurse Park. Oh, you mean the one that's coming up?
Well, the
finished spider creature.
Yeah, when we first saw it.
Oh yeah.
I didn't, but I was like, I agree. I
expecting
didn't jump at all because I was fully expecting it. I'm like, okay, something's gonna pop out. The creature's going to be fully, he's going to be fully transformed into some weird ass fucking creature, and he's gonna pop out any second.
Wait, hold on. Just go back. But yeah, and when he pops out any second, everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Hold on, I'm going to play this again. Share my screen because I'm so professional. Everyone's jealous of me. Shut up. But yeah, it's like
no comment.
Yeah, it's like this lieutenant and the two dumbest kids on the planet. It's like, hey kids,
I didn't know they were on a planet.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's like, hey kids, I'm going to go home now to my family. I
would say in terms of dumbness, I think Marcus is being more dumb than his brother.
Yeah, Marcus has been an idiot, but like he's there, and this guy's like, I'm going to go home to my family and my kids, and I'm going to live a nice, long, happy life. So many years till retirement. When he turns around, holy shit, hentai monster! But
there's no tentacles.
And then the most horrific thing we see in the whole episode happens, which is this.
Yeah, he just.
Yeah, seriously, this is just. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was freaking amazing. I absolutely love that. But the thing is, the prosthetics...
Eat your heart out, Kurtzman Trek.
Exactly. Like, Kurtzman Trek wishes, like, for this, because they put out a picture on Twitter from the Canadian streaming numbers, right? You want to know what's number one?
The Orville?
Yes.
That's great.
And number two is Kenobi.
Keep pouring it on,
not
Scotty.
So great.
Seriously?
I like Kenobi. It's a good show. It's not great.
You don't sound very
terrible,
convincing.
It's pretty good.
He hasn't gotten his Disney money yet. I haven't seen Kenobi.
I wish I was getting Disney money.
After Book of Boba Fett, I'm not bothering with that crap anymore.
Well, I'm waiting for the Mandalorian.
Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett is so shit that it actually caused Tamara Morrison to say, I want to, in the next season of Boba Fett, I want to see a fighting Boba Fett because we've seen old man Boba Fett.
Yeah, I heard that. He wanted to bring back proper badass Boba Fett. Yet he said it.
The dude went into fighting training. Like, for this, he lost weight, he got stronger, thinking like, oh, I'm going to be fighting. He learned to fight with his Maori stick, right? And they're like, okay,
sounds
so you're
dirty.
good.
Talk about wasted.
I know. Oh, and don't forget, we also had the gay Power Rangers on mopeds.
Okay.
That's an actual thing. But moving on from crap and talking back about...
I know it's an actual thing.
I'll take your word for it.
You better.
Is it? I think there's
just this one time, Revan.
Oh crap! Can never use
it. If there's anything of upcoming Star Wars stuff I might be looking forward to, there's only one thing: the next season. No, the next season of Visions.
Actually, no,
there
is no next season of Visions. We're actually getting, by the same people who did it, we're getting a live action show, where each one is a different time period in Star Wars, and one of them is going to be fucking Revan. Confirmed.
Wait a second. Wait, so there is going to be more visions, but it's going to be live action?
It's by the same people who did Vision, but it's going to be. I'll explain to you after the stream, Dalek. Okay?
You're confusing me, Revan.
As the doctor would say, I'll explain later.
Yeah.
All right.
So, later on in it then discovers that actually a crap load of the crew has become these weird spider creature things. All except for, well, not except, including the Admiral, who the Admiral is still wearing his wedding ring. But we also
know it's him when we see him next.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But he went up to Isaac and he was staring at Isaac in the face, and I really wanted Isaac's head to open up again.
Oh yeah, Isaac, for the guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
But I figured like he knew like these creatures were still once, members of the crew and the Admiral, and he figured probably best not to risk killing any of them.
Or else he was kind of go ahead.
That's another problem I had with the episode. I mean, there was like no mention of the crew that was lost.
Well, let's be honest, throughout the entire episode, they didn't have their full power, so they don't really know how much of the crew was lost.
Well, they should have at the end. I mean, she's having a meal at the end, and everybody's around and doing stuff, and
we may see something about that in a later episode.
Could have lost. Yeah, they probably. I mean, with this whole thing, they probably lost like at least a dozen of the crew.
You'd think they would say something about.
I think it would be nothing more than a.
I
don't think it would be nothing less than a minor miracle if they didn't lose more.
But what you're forgetting about, hold on, they kind of skated over the crew loss. But what you're forgetting about, and NB Geeks will confirm this, as well as anyone, there's a thing in the military, and the Orville operates like a military, like Star Trek, okay, called acceptable losses.
Starfleet is not the military.
Yeah, tell that to the Sovereign class.
Tell that to Picard.
Yes,
Starfleet
it is
not the military.
Let's face facts. Yes, it is.
They are the military. Yeah. I'm being facetious again. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
man, I tell you, you don't get my humor.
Dude, you work
that
in the
time.
library.
No,
you
I
have
didn't.
No humor.
Oh,
your friends are all
Revan.
books.
Oh, whatever.
Hold on.
What should I hold on to?
If I drop off, let me know. Or if I start going funny, there was just a couple of rolls of thunder.
How will we know the difference?
I will be gone, and you will be happy. But
that explains things.
Yeah, but one of the things is like it's acceptable losses. 10% of the crew is considered acceptable losses, right? They only lost.
At least mention it.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying that's how they're operating. Like to them, they're like, "Oh, we lost people, but we didn't lose the main cast," and they didn't appear to have lost any of their friends. So to them, it's like this is acceptable losses. It's sad, but you'd see that with higher up military people. It's often portrayed in movies that they're kind of hard asses about it. It's like that is an acceptable loss. Blah blah blah. I think that's how they were operating under. Hold on.
So if you drop off, is that an acceptable loss?
No, sorry. There was not.
I'm sorry. I just had to go there.
Wait, go where? I had my headset off. I was happy.
I said if we lose you, is that an acceptable loss?
Yes. We'll just promote Phil to the new Revan.
There's no one that can.
I'm not talking in an Irish accent.
I didn't say you'd have to talk in an Irish accent. Also, when I'm away in August, I really think it'd be funny if Phil did a stream, as literally called Not Potato Revan and just took the absolute piss out of me. I'm all
Where are
for
you
that,
going
by
in
the way.
August?
I'm not telling that on stream.
Okay.
I'm going to a potato convention, where all the potatoes in the world go together and we all worship the great god potato. Scientists
God.
don't call each other lieutenant, captain, or admiral. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, but naval doctors do. They have ranks. Like, so there's that. But so at the end of the whole like thing, we discovered that to kill them, to go, which is straight from Independence Day, the common cold can kill them. Out of science. Sorry, it's science. That was out of science. Did none of you see signs?
I did see signs, yeah. The water.
Yeah. No, it was the cold that killed him. Oh no, not signs. War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds, yeah. That's what you're thinking of.
Yeah. See? More tentacle hentai monsters.
No, thank you.
Everyone here, there's a pinned comment of Dalek's channel. We're after getting him up 1 subscriber. He's 3 away from hitting 120. Come on. We can get him up to 120 tonight.
Wait, really? Yeah, I've got 117. Thanks.
Yeah, let's get him to 120 tonight. Otherwise, he'll break my legs. Please, Dalek, give me back my dog. But we discovered that their immune system is really, really low. Like, because of the whole transformation, it takes over the body and everything like that.
Yeah.
And after that, Claire gives the virus.
Essentially, they're an entirely new life form now. It's like they've literally just been born, and like a newborn baby, their immune system's not developed yet, so they've got no immunities.
Exactly.
Like a newborn.
But Borges turns around and he's like, "What about us? Like, what about the rest of the crew?" And Claire says, "I mean, you might get the sniffles," which he turns around and says, "I am prepared."
I am prepared. Yeah.
Classic Bortus.
Absolutely. I
love it.
I love, yeah. But I mean, like, there's still of the dumbest kids on the. I want to smack Marcus with a fucking shovel. Like, just be like, bitch, common sense.
Yeah, you're right. Marcus, at least, I don't know if the same can be said for Ty, but
no, Ty's younger. Ty's like, I want to go back to our room and wait for Mom, because Mom says that whenever something's wrong, we wait in our room.
Well,
Smart.
He's the sensible one, but Marcus is the older one.
Yeah.
Marcus is getting that age where he thinks he knows everything.
I don't want to stay there on my own. It gives me the creeps. I was like, what the fuck? How old are you, kid?
Close the curtains.
14?
Curtains exist for a reason, kid.
That was like, I agree, Revan. That was really stupid. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you, kid? Are you that much of a wimp?
Yeah, but
no.
At the end, when she tried to give them the code, but she was talking to the Admiral in the engine room, which, I mean, they paid for it, so they might as well like use it like a lot. But to track the Admiral, which felt like, to me, it did feel like something out of the JJ universe.
You're starting to clip a little bit.
Okay, so what felt to me like out of the JJ universe in Star Trek was they asked to have that he had a wedding ring on, and the wedding ring was made out of Solarian sunstone, right?
Solarian.
Yes.
Whatever. It's made of. it's made of a substance that's super rare.
Yeah.
Who cares what it's
called?
But
they did the same thing in Beyond. Spock gave Vulcanian to Uhura, and they tracked her using that. I'm like, yeah, when I saw that. So this honest to God, what? I know it's a common sci-fi plot device. But when the Admiral spoke, I'm like, okay, that is creepy. Like, he spoke a different language.
I wasn't expecting him. Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to speak again.
Or be able to speak.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either. No.
Yeah. And then it's like, hey, get off the ship or else we'll unleash this agent onto you and kill all of you. And it's like, we will leave and you... What was it, Phil?
We will leave, but not forever. You will be of us.
Yeah. And that is more creepier than the Borg. Resistance is futile. It's like, no, you will be of us. Who Professor Brainy Specs, was saying that it's kind of like the Cyberman.
No, that's what I was saying.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we both said it.
Yeah, I forgot Dalek existed for a second.
Oh, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Does that mean I get my doggy back? And I don't want it back in pieces this time. Like, having to reassemble your dog isn't very pleasant. It don't work quite as well afterwards.
The Cyberman said, you will become like us.
Yeah.
You will become like us, yeah.
I think that phrase may honestly be one of the new sci-fi phrases that people use. May the Force be with you. Resistance is futile. You will be of us.
And I loved when Mercer said, may the Force be with you in this episode.
Yes!
So he made classic Mercer.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Also, the new character wasn't the bitch this episode.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this. I don't know if you noticed this, but in this episode, we got at least not very much, but we got back at least some of the humor that was missing from the first episode.
Mm-hmm. Well, I said last episode that it was a very serious and hard topic that they were dealing with. That the ordinary level of humor that we're seeing in this episode would not have been appropriate.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. Oh my God, I'm agreeing with Revan.
I know, right?
What's wrong with me?
I'm going to tell Conti and going to tell everyone. But yeah, Phil, any thoughts on any final thoughts or anything you want to point out?
Well, I don't know how the spider creatures got back to that ship that was coming, and why the creatures on the ship didn't come over and attack the Orville. I mean, they wouldn't have been affected by the virus.
Because I think that they didn't tell like exactly what was like how the virus worked. They just said we have a virus that can kill all of you. But
it would only affect the ones on the Orville because their immune system wasn't built up. It was going to take a while for their immune system to be built up to resist that. The ones on the ship should have had an immune system that could have resisted.
I think
so. I don't know why they did. I don't know why they didn't come over and attack while the ones on the Orville currently had left.
Plot device.
It was just very rushed.
It was. I honestly think how they got over was remote shuttle, and they remote shuttled them back, and they brought the shuttle back remotely.
I know how they did it. The big force fields.
I mean, yeah, the really big events that happen in the really main, the most important parts of the episode, like it only takes place in like the last 20 minutes of the episode, right?
Yeah. I mean, So, like, the episode, I think this episode was like 9 out of 10 for me. Brady Specs?
I thought the first episode was stronger, and I gave that one an 8.5. I'm going to give this one maybe a 7.5.
Okay. Dalek, what about you?
Like I said earlier when I first came on, this episode was definitely a lot more. But the kind of thing I'm hoping for from this show is definitely a lot more than the first episode. So yeah, and so I would agree. Not 9 out of 10.
Phil?
I don't know what I gave the first episode of the season. I think
you gave it 9.
Like
no, you said it was a
10.
10. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do agree. I do agree with Professor Brady Specs that I think that the last episode was a stronger episode than this one. So if I gave it a 9 out of 10, I'd feel comfortable giving this one 8.5.
I'm just interested, wondering, audience, the people watching, what score would you give it? And maybe
which episode is stronger?
Yeah, I think the first episode was stronger. It had a more emotional impact because of a subject matter.
Yeah, definitely. That one did have a stronger emotional factor too.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost the main character through suicide.
Mm-hmm. And
we got him back, but we weren't 100% sure how or when that was going to happen.
Yeah. And they were talking seriously about it. They were like, not everyone can come back. They don't come back from this. Why would you do this? And everything in the first episode. But in this episode, I honestly think this episode was a Monster of the Week episode that would have fit well around Halloween.
I agree with that.
That was all this episode needed to be.
Yes.
I have no complaints with this episode. Even if I do think the first episode was stronger, I don't think that this episode being weaker is a bad thing at all.
That's basically saying, oh yeah, this precious jewel is a little less shiny than that precious jewel. It's still very good. Honestly.
This gold bar is slightly more tarnished than this gold bar. They're still both gold bars.
The flow of the episode was definitely what it should have been. We got set up, then we got build up, and then we got a nice payoff. That's what you should get.
Yeah, and we got that. And John DeMarco gives this episode a 6 out of 5, a 6.5 out of 10.
6 out of 5. Oh wow, that's the highest score you can give it. 6 out of 5. You must really love it.
There is someone in our community that did not like the relationship discussion. I'll leave that up to you to decide who that is. I think Revan.
Okay. Yeah.
So someone we talked about kind of last week.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, he needs a slap. And I'd be the one to give it. But, Phil, you've got a stream in a few minutes. You want to tell us about it?
Yes. So, after this is over, in about another half hour, turns out, I will be on Farvithian Guard's channel. We're going to be playing some Guild Wars.
Nice. Professor Brady.
Guild Wars 2, just so there's no confusion.
Brady Sporks. What about you? Question of Trek, what do you got coming up?
Well, first off, we have a question of Trek this Sunday. Let me get my days right. At 4:30 Eastern Time. And would have you there if you love quiz shows, if you love Star Trek, be there because that's the show for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Monday afternoon at 2 p.m. History of R&R will be on as well. And I want to announce a new collaboration. John DeMarco is in the chat, and he is starting a show next Saturday on his channel. John, if you're in the chat, you probably can't put the link in.
Wait. I'm giving him the wrench.
Okay. Yeah, he's a good guy. So
John, you got the wrench.
Yeah. John, if you want to put your channel link in the text chat, he and I are collaborating on a new Jeopardy game that we're going to be starting next Saturday. We're not sure the time. It might be 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern.
Nice. Dalek, you got any plans?
If you mean for my channel,
Oh, and John, I like the discussion about the relationships too. I thought it fit and was well done.
I mean, honestly, like, let's face it, in this day and age, we're adults, life goes on. People do like break up with shit, like with people and everything like that, and to not have that stuff spoken about, like, look in our community, exactly, and on a crew that size, I did like it. To me, it expanded the character's backstory more.
Yeah,
like, it makes her feel more real. You could imagine her when she was
exactly.
This is actually, here's something I've been wanting to say for I think for most of this stream now. Here's a question for you all: Who's the emotional center of this show to you?
Isaac.
Well, I was actually gonna say it's Dr. Vin.
I agree with you. I think it is Claire.
I'll say it's Claire for you guys then, just to fit in with the cool kids. But I'm going to say this: Isaac's developing emotions, like 100%.
I think he's starting to. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, like when
I'm agreeing with you a lot tonight. That's very scary.
I know. I'm so happy.
What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
Everything. But here's the thing: when he was talking to the Admiral, right? He said, "Are you finding it difficult to process efficiently without her?" And he's like, "In a way, yes." Right? And he's like, "Then that is something we have in common," which he stated when they broke up in the last season. And then at the end of it, without anyone asking, because usually people have to tell him how to act normally, right? He just went up to Claire and was like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need to talk to someone?" And I'm like, dude, that's empathy. That's an emotion.
That line that he did say that to her, but then he kind of walked away immediately and she stopped him. I don't know if it was just a programmed response that he learned, he learned behavior to ask the question and really didn't have the emotion behind it, or maybe there was some stirring there. I'm not sure which.
I think he has rudimentary emotions, and the way I see it, and I don't mean to offend anyone in the chat, in the panel, in space, but it reminds me of someone who's got pretty bad special needs. And they're like, with their emotions, especially after seeing this in some of my family members who are like bad special needs, when they've got emotions, it's not like us. It's like, oh, I'm sad or whatever like that. It's like he gets angry, frustrates, bangs things, or he'll go up programmed talking, right? When he talks, it sounds like he's programmed. If he don't get a response in the time he should have gotten a response, he'll just walk away. Like, to me, it's rudimentary emotions.
I suppose you could look at it that way.
Yes, but we've been going for about an hour, so I'm going to end this here with something that Phil has shown me. First thing, Phil, do you want to say your tagline?
Fuck you, Kevin Smith.
There we go. And so I'm going to end on this image. Good night, everyone.
Still
God
classic.
bless. Stay safe, and happy Men's Mental Health Month, everyone. Goodbye.